Hello and welcome back. Okay, so this is the third video, but the second video on coding in the series on Python and finance. I'd just like to say again, please like and subscribe to the video, and then you'll get notification of new videos when they come out. And it will also give me some encouragement to keep making these. Okay, so you will obviously start off here and you will need to do File and New. But I've already started this package so that again you don't have to worry about watching me type it out and make typos. Okay, so this one's about backtesting simple strategies. Again, this first cell is just marked down, made a note of the environment that it's running in, so for future, for me, when I look back I know what environment I need to be running. And we're going to be looking at the BT package, which is a flexible framework for backtesting trading strategies in Python. So I'd just like to say here, this is not financial advice, okay? I'm just a programmer explaining how I code things in Python. So I'll just say that again, this is not financial advice. So the first cell, we're going to import the BT package, and we'll be looking at graphs of things. So we're going to be importing the matplotlib again as PLT. So if you've not caught my previous videos, I'm just holding the shift key down, pressing return. You see the little star come up, which means that this code is executing. And when the star's gone away, then we know that that's been executed. Now, in the previous video, we used the yfinance package, and we used this code to import price data. But for this video, we're going to look at doing it in a different way. Okay, so we can also use the BT package, the one that we've just imported. And there's a couple of ways of doing it. But in this particular instance, what I'm doing is I'm getting the price data for three tickers, three companies, Google, Amazon, and Tesla. And I'm getting 5 years worth, so 2020 to 2025. And as it says here, this will automatically download the adjusted close price into data. And just for consistency, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to get rid of the print. I'm going to get rid of the head there, so when we run it, we just see the tail and the head automatically. So machine's running a bit slow at the moment, but here we go. You get this little display here showing that it's downloaded 100% of the data for these three. And you can see the format is slightly different. So we've got a data frame again, but this time the columns are for the tickers and we've just got the adjusted close price. So this wouldn't be any good on its own for making like a candlestick pattern. And it won't be useful for some technical indicators, but we'll go into that later on. Okay, so I've printed the tail and I've printed the head, so we don't need to worry about that. Okay, so what are we going to do? Well, we're going to do a simple backtest. Okay, pretty much every resource that I've come across when I was while I've been learning how to do my own little bit of trading, which I do on Trading 212 with very small amounts of money. And one of the things that pretty much every professional trader says is to backtest your ideas. So don't just go in there and thinking, oh yeah, I think this is a brilliant idea and I'll start doing it because, you know, I don't know, for example, if price crosses above a simple moving average, I'm going to buy. And if it drops below, I'm going to sell. How do you know that that's going to actually make you money? Well, what you do is a backtest. Okay, and that's why this is important. So I've got a link here to the documentation for this particular backtesting package because there's several of them. So this is the one I'm using at the moment. So with the BT package, your trading idea can be broken down into algos, and the documentation explains more of that. And you can see there's a link here. Okay, so let's look at how we would set up an algo. So this is defining a strategy for the algo. Okay, so these things here are the algos, and they can be stacked, or that's, sorry about that, that's Grammarly kicking in there. It's not very useful for programming, so please ignore the red lines. So what this is basically saying is that in this particular strategy, we're going to run it weekly. We're going to select all of the stocks. So just reminding you that those stocks are going to be those three there in this particular instance. Going to buy equal amounts. Then at the end of the week, we're going to rebalance. Okay. So at this point of view, I would just say again, this is not financial advice. I'm not recommending that this is something that you should do. I'm just explaining what is a simple strategy. So it's going to run once a week. It's going to hold the assets that we pass using the select tool. It's going to keep them weighed equally because we've got weigh equally, and then it rebalances once a week. Okay. So there's no explicit buy or sell signals in this one. So after so actually, let's not get ahead of myself. So let's press shift and return. So we'll execute that. So we've set up and defined our strategy. And this is the syntax for doing the backtest. Okay, so we've got our strategy here. So we've got BT package, the function backtest. We're passing in the strategy and we're passing in the price data. And we're going to get our results assigned to BT test, which we're then going to run, and we're going to plot the results. Okay, so holding a shift key, pressing return, and see a little bit of feedback to doing it. And so here would be our returns. And you can see that if we'd have started this in 2020 with 100, whether that be pounds or dollars, we would have made quite a decent return by 2025. Equally, you can see that if you'd actually started it in 2022, then we wouldn't be quite so happy. We'd be positive, but not quite so happy. If you started it in 2022, in 2023, you'd have probably been very, very worried. And as this course progresses, we'll look at ways in which we can evaluate strategies like this and actually get like a numerical value for how good it is, so that we can compare different strategies and choose one that we like. Okay. You can also, with the BT package, you can see the transactions. So if you wanted to look back, press return, shift and return there. Okay, so you can see what it's bought, the quantity it's bought of them, and the date, etc. So you can see all the transactions, and you could analyze this if you wanted to, if it would be useful. Okay, so if that was handy, please like and subscribe to my video. And in the next tutorial, we're going to look at some common technical indicators using the TA-lib package. Okay, see you then, and bye for now.